All right, class, I'm back with another MATHia for you. This is naming lines, rays, segments, and angles workspace. All right, so this one is a little challenging because it's a little tricky with how you can select some of these. So you got to be a little patient. Be patient with me too during this video as we're going through this, because sometimes you can see you might select one thing when you really need to select another. As this one, for example, the one that's currently highlighted, you can see this includes the arrow by the W. Whereas if I go just a little bit off of it, it takes off the arrow and it only is the line segment. So you have to be very careful with this, right? This one says to select the object that's highlighted in the diagram. So we're just going to follow these steps. And so you'll notice this goes from OG and it's just a segment. So I don't want the arrow like this one has. I want the segment, right? Now we're going to try to name this, and this is going to be segments. So we're going to use this symbol here, and then we're going to say OG. Just type that in and hit the check mark. All right. So is there another name for this? And yes, as we learned in our last video, that there is. You can switch those around. And so we're going to say, enter another name. We're going to say this is line segment GO. All right, GO. You can always flip-flop those if it's a line segment. All right. Now it says to select, or I guess this is now select this one. This is number 2. And so this is just, again, another line segment. And same thing here. This is going to be line segment OH. All right. And we're going to flip this around and say, yes, there's another name. We can do HO. So again, line segments HO. Just like that. Okay. I think I got nothing left to click on. So we're going to hit done with this one. All right. Now it says select the object that's highlighted in the diagram. You can see this goes from L to J, so you got to be careful. Make sure we click that. There we go. It's this one. Again, another line segments. We'll say LJ. And hit the check mark, and we can flip it around. Is there another name? So we can say JL. JL. All right, this time this is a ray because it includes the arrow. So we're going to do this one, and then I need, this is, remember, a line, a ray, a line segment, an angle. So I want the ray, and we have to start with the letter here. In fact, this is ray, so that's an O, OC. So you got to start with the vertex of this one. So we're going to say OC, just like that. And because there's no other dots or no other points on this ray, there is not another name, another way to name that one. So we actually are done with that. All right, and I think there's just 2 in this one, so we're going to say done. See what it gives us next. This time it says select angle ZUD. So angle ZUD. So let's see if we can get that highlighted. Again, be patient with this. And it says name ZUD. So again, it's a little bit funky because to me, I think this should include the Z, but it actually starts with the R. Either way, that's still that same angle. If you kind of follow us around Z to U to D, that's still the same amount of degrees in there. So it is considered ZUD. Is there another name for this angle? Yes, there is. There's always another way to name a 3-lettered named angle. You can flip-flop those as long as the U stays in the middle. So instead of ZUD, I can go DUZ. So we'll say, yes, I need the angle symbol. We'll flip it to say DUZ, does. And then it says for the next one, select line RQ. RQ. See if we can do that. Okay, and again, this one is the lines. We do want the arrows on this. And so I want arrows going on both ways. Is there another name? Yes, there's actually a lot of ways to name this one because there's 5 points that we see here. So you can just pick any other 2 points that are on that line as long as you use the line symbol. Let's say QB. See if that does it. QB. Those are on there. That would also work. There we go. Okay, you could say Z, U, R, Q, right? Any 2 that are on there. And I think we're done with that section. So again, I think in these workspaces, yours might be a little bit different problems, but hopefully these are helping you out. If they are, please hit the like button down below. That helps me out. I appreciate that. Anyway, this says select the object that's highlighted in the diagram. Notice this includes the arrows on both sides. And so we want to have that whole thing highlighted. So that's the other one. We want, bring your patience. Oops, I think I had it. There it is. A lot of little things you can click there, so you got to make sure you have the right one. Now this is a line, and just like before, we can name this with any two letters that are on there. We can say, let's say DW. Reminds me of Arthur back when I was a kid. All right, DW. And then, is there another name to name this? Yes, there is. You can either flip-flop it. That's probably the easiest way. Say WD, like the oil. As long as you have your line segment up above there. Let's go WD. This time it wants to select this object. This is an angle. And with this angle, because of it, we need the whole thing highlighted, I think. And I guess it's actually only doing this. Again, I'd probably consider it all the way. Then let's call this an angle, and we can just use the letters that they have. Let's go LOB. But if you said JOW or JOB, I think that would probably also work. But I'm going to do the ones that they have just in case. Let's go LOB. LOB. And then is there another name for this one? Yes, there is. We can flip-flop it and go BOL. Flip around, BOL. We're getting closer. Looks like maybe after this one it might get there. Select the object that's highlighted in this diagram. So this is another angle. This is angle 6. And let's call this BWO. BWO. Name, yes, there is. We'll flip it around and say OWB. OWB with the angle symbol in front. Okay, and then we're getting closer. This time, another one. This is angle 4. It looks like WBO. Those same letters, but because the B is second, it's a completely different angle. WBO. And if I flip it around, there's another way to name this one. We can say this is angle OBW. Oops, OBW. That B has to go second because it's in the vertex of our angle. Oh, I didn't quite give it to us, so I think we have to do another one. Okay, this is a line segment this time, and I don't want this one. This includes that arrow. Remember, if I hover off of it, this one doesn't include the arrow down here, so I'm going to just do this part. And what is it if it doesn't include any arrows? This is just a line segment, and we can use the two letters AQ, or we can flip it around and say QA for the other way to name this. QA. There we go. All right, and looks like maybe one more. This one does include the arrows. This is a ray, and with rays, you always have to start at the vertex, which is A. And so because of that, oftentimes this one does not have another way to name it, unless there'd be another point over here. So is there another way? No, there is not. So we have to call that good. It still didn't give it to us. Come on, get this last circle filled out. All right, select the object that's highlighted in the diagram. This is a line segment, RL, or we can flip it around to say LR. Line segments, LR. There we go. This time it's a whole line because both arrows are highlighted. So we need the whole line. There it is. And you can pick any two on there as long as you have your one selected with the two arrows. So let's go WL. Doesn't matter which two letters. We can flip it, or we can use two different letters. Let's say BR this time. Line BR. Perfect. Hey, did we get it? I think we did. It's all filled out. So we are done. Hopefully that helped you out. If it did, please leave a like for me. We'll see you in the next one.